Welcome to Find Your Fridays. It's me, Lorene. I hope you're having a great day. It is October the 31st. Oh, so what does that mean? That means in the Northern Hemisphere, they are hardcore celebrating Halloween and stuff because it's appropriate for the Northern Hemisphere. And for the Southern Hemisphere, we're just celebrating it because it's fun, apparently. Go figure. But anyway, so I'm here today and we are going to have a good time and enjoy each other's company and, tell a few tales, whisper a few whispers and see what comes along the way. And I look forward to seeing exactly how everybody is feeling and doing today. Hello, Melinda. I hope you've had a fabulous week. Hello, Edwina. Hello. So good to see you both. I have been busy this week. It's been a very busy week for me. And so much so that I had to have a wee nap this afternoon. And I'm very glad I had a wee nap. I love having a nap on a Friday afternoon. It's just so nice, especially if I haven't necessarily been able to have an early sleep, like a sleep in the morning. It's so nice to have that wee little nap. So, in other fun news, I have a new card deck to play with. Ooh! I saw it last week and I was like, oh, and I just had to go back and get it this week. So that will probably come out a little bit later. I know you're all curious now, aren't you? Wonder. It's actually in honor. Hi, Tamara. It's in honor of the journey I've been doing with the Sophia Code. No, it's not a Sophia Code card deck, but it's because the Sophia Code has so many ascended masters that floated around in this time. It called to me. And for a couple of other reasons as well. So yay, we've got that. Today, let's see, what did I do today? Today I got to read through the fourth key code of my Sophia. And Sophia Code, and that was to do with Mother Mary. Such a beautiful key code. Like, considering we've done Isis and Hathor and Green Tara, they're all just like boom, 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 fireworks type ones. Mother Mary's a lot more chill. Like, it's no less potent, but it's just a lot more easeful on the body, and integrating that particular key code was a lot easier today. And maybe that's also a reflection because she's been a mentor of mine for many years now. And along with Mary Magdalene, who I get to step in with next week. So I'm looking forward to that. Connecting is the right word with Mary Magdalene. It's been such a lovely week. Hi, Christine. It's been such a really lovely week having Mary Magdalene floating around again, even if she doesn't like swearing. So if I swear, I get a little buzz above my left ear because Mary Magdalene tends to sit on my left. And then I'm like, oh, sorry. And she goes, and now we move on. But yeah, she's great. I love her. And the thing that I really love about the tea we have tonight is our green tea with what was it? Lychee and rose. So we've got rose in my rose cup for Mother Mary is the she of 1,000 roses. So that's part of where this cup came from, actually, was during the start of my journey with Mother Mary was when this rose cup, and it's got a rose on the inside there too. I forget that one. So, yay. Let's have a look, see which cards want to come out for our weekly reading for everyone. How did everyone go this week? Have you been okay? Did you find yourself feeling a little tired? Or I found myself just moving really, really fast. I was getting everything done very, very quick. And it was like, I don't know what's going on here. I kind of like it, except for when it means that it's setting up false expectations for other people. But oh well. Okay, cool. Miss Doreen Virtue is going to be our first for tonight. You'll have to forgive me if every now and then you see me go, because we are currently sitting in our heavy moon time. So 2 days off, yay for Melinda. I'm heading up north tomorrow morning or midday, sometime tomorrow. And I am going to be going to, just 1 second, the Saddleworth Country Market on Sunday. So I've never been there, but I'm looking forward to going. I haven't been to, a country market in a very, very long time. So staying overnight with my friend up north, and then we'll go off to the markets on Sunday morning. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be good fun. And the reason why I'm going is actually to find myself some honey, because I was like, being that they're up in the country, I was like, do you have a honey contact up there? Because I'd really like to get some proper honey. And he goes, yes, I've got somebody that I go to at these markets that are on every Sunday, the first Sunday of the month. And they have 3 grades of honey. So it's like a sort of not a weak, but it's just a milder flavor, a medium flavor, and really strong flavor. So I look forward to taste testing each of those and finding out what they're like, so that then I can figure out which one I would prefer. I have a funny feeling I'll probably like the strong flavor, but you just never know. Melinda says, oh, nice. I haven't been to Saddleworth for ages. Nice country town. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been there that I know of, because this is in like the chunk of area that I've not really explored. It's kind of like I've gone towards Renmark, and I've gone up and around York Peninsula, but this is kind of sitting in between those two bits, isn't it? So, yeah, fun and games. The thing I find really interesting is, and I don't know if it's because I'm an import, but I find quite often what happens is I'll go, oh, I went here, and Adelaideans will go, oh, I haven't even been there yet, and I was born here. And it's kind of like they forget to see their own country, their own town, their own state even. It's like there's so many cool things to do and see, and they're like, no, we just have to get out of we just have, like, a worthy trip or a holiday is to go out of state. And I'm just like, there's so much to see here. Your place is huge. In time, I hope to get up to the Flinders Ranges, because I haven't been up there yet either. So that would be really good to go. Yeah. All right, so this week coming up from the 1st of November through to the 7th of November, So if you've got any planting to do, you've got about 4 days to do it in. So if you haven't done your planting yet, please get onto that and do that ASAP. So because after the full moon on Wednesday, it's kind of back into the doing things like fertilization, chuck your seed soil down, all that sort of stuff. Okay. This week, I haven't actually had a look to see what we've got as far as planetary stuff going on. I think I did see that we had 5 planets in retrograde or, doing their thing at the minute. So just keep that in mind. Things are still a bit stirred up out there. And there has been some auroras floating around in the last 24-ish hours. So that may or may not still have a little bit of residuals over this next day or two. Auroras are generally created when there's solar flares. So the solar flares sort of were kicking up about Monday, Tuesday last week, and we got to see them Thursday. So just be aware. There's stuff going on. We are all experiencing these different energetic shifts as well as the ones as a collective. So this first card seems quite relevant. It is patience. All right. So have a bit of patience with each other and yourselves. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they require nurturing and patience. Okay. So it's that whole thing of we don't dig up the plants just because we haven't seen them sprout yet. We've just got to have a bit of patience and let them grow. And when it comes to your dreams and the things that you're trying to actualize or working through manifesting and actualizing, you have to allow the universe time to pull all of the strings required to bring it in, but you also have to do the groundwork for yourself. You have to allow yourself to create the right foundation so you're resonating at the right level to bring those things in with ease. Okay, because otherwise the universe will bring these things to you that you've asked for, but if you're not there, if you're not actually resonating at that thing, you won't get it. You'll get something that's a little bit wonky or a little bit off or a little bit, or you'll get the thing that will help push you towards the outcome that you would really like. Okay, and it might feel at the time like you're being pushed backwards, like you've faced an extra challenge, but you didn't ask for a challenge, but in actual fact you kind of did, because your higher self is the one that's kind of going, hey, we need to just change the parameters here a little bit. We have to cultivate this human body and the mind a little bit better so that they can actually receive the higher goal. So just be aware of that. If you have had anything popping up in your world lately that you're kind of humming and hawing about, okay, maybe you're trying to make that decision of, do I do that? Do I not do that? Do I go there? Do I not go there? Do I make this creation? Do I not make this creation? This week is the week for getting out there and doing the thing. Okay, so we got the brilliant idea card. The brilliant idea card is always a sign to move forward. It's like wherever you're doubting yourself and not letting yourself know that you have got this and that it's all good, and just having that self-belief, this card comes up to go, yes, you do, and this is great, and keep going. Okay, so that's for this week to come. This next card is quite a nice little twin pair for the previous card. Is remember who you are. Quite often when we have a lot of self-doubt, that makes us go hum and ha, hum and ha, hum and ha. I don't know what to do. I'm seeking the advice of everybody else before, really listening to yourself and your own heart, which then puts the kibosh on the idea or the creation or the plans or whatever it might be. Remember who you are. Come back to your heart. Come back to that place where your passions lie, and just sit with that and go, does this actually make my heart light up? And if it doesn't, that's your answer. But this is about remembering who you are and how you function in the world. Now, I've learned some stuff today that made me go, oh, wow. Like, oh, that's a nice reframe. I like that one. And it's to do with the Akash. Your Akashic records. But anyhow, I'll get back into that in a moment. Our fourth card for the collective for this next week, for this 1st through to the 7th, the first week of November. Clairvoyance is your other card. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. Now, interestingly, I have seen, because I have the time zone for myself and also my friend in Canada. And today I have seen 222, 444 twice. Once for her and once for me. Well, they were for me, her and me. And so I took screenshots and sent them to her. But that's clairvoyance. It's looking at the signs and symbols that are popping up. Okay? Looking, seeing what's out there. And that's pretty cool. Spiritual sight, isn't that great? I love spiritual sight. It's so fun. And it's seeing those little things like out the corner of your eyes, or you see the signs of a feather, a rainbow, whatever it might be, a butterfly, numbers, letters. Like when I saw that Kia Ra number plate, that was a really big sign for me to get back into the Sophia code. So, and even yesterday I saw 333, really big and loud. And I couldn't miss it because it was like on a clock that was this big, bright red. So there we go. Watch out for those signs this week. They're going to mean a lot. Look them up, Google it. What's the angel number 333 stand for? If you don't know it off the top of your head. I don't. So I quite often do Google it, or I just go, oh, yay. I saw that one. Woohoo! I think I actually saw 1111 this morning too. But it was just briefly. It could have kind of like, by the time I was able to take a screenshot or anything, it was gone. Dreams. Coming back to your dreams again. Okay. So that's also about what's in your heart. What are you passionate about? And one of the ways that you can tell what your passion is can you imagine your life without it? So a few years ago, my partner at the time and I, this is before podcast time, were trying to find a house to live in, and we needed a lot of rooms because we all had different interests that required different spaces. And this partner of mine's mum said to me, well, are you really doing a lot of energy healing? Do you think you could just like maybe not do that and just go to people's houses or something? That would save you a space. And I looked at her and I went, are you kidding me? That's a hard no. If I'm paying for half this house that we're going to be living in, it's going to have my healing space. That's a not negotiable. Thank you. And then I said to my partner, what if we said that to you? Would you be able to live without that thing for you? like not healing space. He had his own thing. And he was like, hell no. And I'm like, exactly. So don't you dare ever ask me to give up something so important to me. And he's like, oh. And his mother was very much put back in her place. But the thing that got me about that one was just sometimes we are nudged in a certain way to make us really commit. So if somebody was to say to you, would you, like, if that was taken away from you, how would you do? What would you think? And you're like having that very visceral reaction of hell no. That doesn't work for me. I would leave the relationship before I would leave that. So yeah. Pandian818 over on YouTube. Welcome. Good morning, good evening for me. And it sounds like I'm in Australia. Yes, that's because I am. I'm a curious little one because I'm actually a New Zealander who's lived in Aussie for the last 15 years, coming up 15 and a half years. So we've got a little bit of nice kind of mixture between Australian and Kiwi. Melinda, I think of it as my team letting me know that they're around helping me rather than what the actual numbers mean. I'm sure that there is more to it, but I look at it that way for me. Yes, exactly. I think of it in a similar way, and that's why it's so special, you know. So yeah, super cool. Of course, there's a to my lovely friend over, a new friend on YouTube. This is why I'm laughing. You made me thrust off a cliff. A little nudge. Yes. Yes. Sometimes our spirit team can be a little bit cheeky. And yeah, it can sometimes feel like you're being hit over the head with a 4x2. And then slapped the other way with a cold fish. So something that I learned today in the Sophia Code was talking about the ego self, and also the higher self, and then and then the other part that's above that. Oh, why didn't I just make a note of that piece as well? But anyway, the piece that I really wished to read to you today that made me go, wow, was this. I'm just going to read this little paragraph. So just a reminder, this is from Chapter 9, Key Code 4, Mother Mary. As such, the rose provides a pathway of reconciliation that frees you. So she's already spoken about how the rose is the heart, and the rose is the way of opening up the heart with all the petals and stuff like that. Okay. So the rose provides a pathway of reconciliation that frees you from choosing between dualistic polarities and shifts your focus to meditate upon the wholeness that is being created by two seemingly opposing forces. For example, you do not have to banish the thorns of your humanity to hold your divinity. I'll read that again. For example, you do not have to banish the thorns of your humanity to behold your divinity. Your human awareness and the ego structures that come with your physical body provide a necessary creative tension for seeking out your divinity and consciously embodying that divinity. Unconditional love and acceptance for the totality of you, especially your humanity, is the reconciliation that allows for your awareness and ego to fully integrate into the omniscient light and sovereign divinity of your higher self. Oh my goodness. Like, that just made me go, oh, you know, there's so much. Oversoul was the other one. There is just so much that we resist and react about being human. And the piece that I really, really loved in there was not only about talking about the thorns of our humanity, it was the creative tension. And she does go on to explain a little bit more about that, but it's the tension between being in your ego and moving towards your divinity. It's like we actually really require both to be able to get to where we're going. So the oversoul is the other thing that made me go, whoa, okay. So your oversoul is the architect of your destiny. So I'd like to just pop this little piece in here for you, okay, so that you can kind of get an awareness around it too. The subject of destiny is misunderstood by many as a mystical, unfathomable power outside of yourself that executes gifts of fortune or punishment upon you, herding you to a desired outcome that may or may not have anything to do with your own personal happiness. I can assure you that your destiny is not defined or controlled by any power outside of you. The only architect of your destiny is your own sovereign oversoul. Okay, so in the realms of what we're talking, you've got this, your human body. Your higher self is what makes you you. This is like just the molecules and stuff slowing down enough to embody a physical form. Physical form. It's all an illusion, by the way, but it's a physical form. But the higher self is like the construction crew, if you like. I love a good metaphor. Then you've got your oversoul, who's the actual architect. That's the part of you that has all of the past lives, current life, future lives, all the other dimensions, everything. And I went, that's the Akash. That's what I have defined as the Akash in my head. But it's even more than the Akash, because the Akashic records are not only all of that information. Well, the way that I thought of it in my head was the Akashic records is just all the information. The oversoul is that information, not in like book form or scrolls or anything like that. It's like it has that level of tapping in all the time. Like it never ever stops, the oversoul. And the oversoul is the one that sits up there with you, like in that spiritual time before you embody, going, okay, now what sort of things, what spiritual progression would we like to achieve this time? And so the oversoul is the architect of that. The higher self goes, all right, I'm the construction crew. I'm for site foreman and all the rest of it. I'm going to get that going. And then, of course, you've got your spirit team. So your higher self and your spirit team work together. And then there's little old you with your little old ego going, I already know what I'm doing. And that just cracked me up today. I thought, that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And the thing is, we have to have, so maybe this will help you with that first little passage that I read. If you feel like you have had those moments in your life where you just go, why did I have such a hard time with whatever? Maybe it was family, maybe it was with partners, maybe it was, whatever it might be. Maybe workplaces, maybe you've experienced a lot of bullying or things like that in your life. Maybe you've experienced a lot of financial stress in your life. All of those things have been very cleverly curated by you to help you progress and change and give you those moments of creative tension so that you will make a different choice in your life. And there are those people who will rise to the challenge, and there are those that will not. I see both all the time in my work. I see the people who have the challenge and they just don't rise to it, and they just sit in their muck. And it's interesting, right? And people, they get basically written off as, oh, you've got mental health issues, or you just don't have development, or whatever. What if it's all a grand design? And it's a chance for them to prove to themselves, not to anybody else, but to themselves, that, yeah, I can rise above this challenge. And things are never going to change for them until they do. So it's interesting. And then it's like, the other thing that I got from that chapter was talking about, was it that chapter? Something else I read later. Was talking about how we are just here to shine the light so that other people can choose differently. And when you're in your passion, whatever that is, that light, you will be able to shine so much easier and so much brighter, which is really, really cool. Alrighty. Cool bananas. So I'd love to know, what are your thoughts on all of that stuff? It's pretty big. Believe me, my brain has been going. I think if I was to do a book club with this book next year, which I feel like I probably will, I've spoken about it a few times now. I would like to do one chapter a month, but meet up a couple of times during that month. Only because the content is huge, especially once you get into the key code stuff. And it's like, there's so many like boom, aha moments that require or would be deserving of discussion. So yeah, just super cool, super duper cool. Tamara, my love, would you like to put your question in the chat, please? Thank you so much for your very kind donation. And we will get into some paid readings. Who wishes to come and play with Tamara? I knew it was going to come out for you. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, Tamara, thank you. Hey, Tamara, have you ever been to Saddleworth? I'm curious. Nearly missed it. Just had a Halloween delivery knock at my door. Never would have missed it. I would have swung back round to you, Dylan. It's all good. We would have just waited. I would have chatted for you. Oh, there you go. Ah, what a cool message there. Pangian818 over in YouTube. They said cosmic messages, a divine connection is required. The answer to that is surrendering and being in service of. I seek others that I can sense are having a rough go of it and give them encouragement. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And the surrendering part of it, that's a tricky one for a lot of people. It's tricky. Absolutely. But yes, being of service, that's a big one for me too. That's why I do what I do. Do what I do. I said do. I'm also like 10. All right. Tamara, you want to see what the new card deck is? So I have done Yorks. I have touched on the Eyre Peninsula. And because that's right up and around, isn't it? If I remember rightly. Let me just double check my geography because my geography is not always so great. So let's see. So I've done York's heaps, but I've also been all the way down to Port Lincoln. And I haven't been to Kangaroo Island yet. I've done Old Aldinga Beach and Victor Harbour, and as you guys know, I went down to Deep Creek a few weeks ago, Cape Jarvis down that way, Murray Bridge, sort of a little bit. I haven't stayed anywhere south or further down than Victor. But yeah, the little bit of time that I got to, I went camping actually over in the Lincoln National Park. So that was really lovely. And yes, it is a bit of a drive. It's like 8 hours from Port Adelaide. But I had a great time. And yeah, it's really super pretty over there. So I still haven't managed to get up to like Ceduna or Streaky Bay or anything like that just yet. And of course, I have not travelled the Nullarbor. All right. Are we ready? The anticipation. So like I said, I saw this card deck last week and I was very excited because it wouldn't leave my brains. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and get you today. So I did. It's the Egyptian Alchemy Oracle. Super different from what we would normally choose. And I'll just read the back so that you guys can get a bit of a sense of it. So this illuminating guide comprehensively explains the inspiration behind this deck. The writings of Hermes Trismegistus, described as the scribe of the gods and a source of alchemical wisdom. Here you will learn how to use the beautifully illustrated 49 card deck as well as discover the background to its creation. Using a combination of your own intuition and the guidance contained within, you will soon connect with your cards in simple revealing layouts. Blah, 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 blah. So yes, Hermes Trismegistus. So the Egyptian Alchemy Oracle. And I pulled a few cards today and I was like, and then I was like, once I started reading. So the card decks are really quite interesting. There's several different types, and so they have 7 different types, and it's got all is the all is mind, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect. Because of course, when you're talking about Hermeticism, which is Hermes Trismegistus's work, there are the 7 principles. of Hermeticism, which is all of those things. So let's see what we get from your beautiful self and your cards. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. And I like it because they're color-coded. So your first card is from the Vibration deck, which is Stillness is Nowhere and the Inward Mountain Quivers, Ever Unceasing Ascend, which is the third Hermetic principle, Vibration. So vibration aligns with the famous saying of the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus. No man ever steps in the same river twice. Everything in the universe is in flux, a state of impermanence. So nothing is still. And there's a big introduction there. But the first card, I got the right one. That's a one. Oh, no, it's not vibration. There's two purples apparently. Oh, that makes sense now. Gender, which is your first one. Forgive me because I'm still learning these cards. I've literally only just got them today. Gender, hills and stars, they spin, masculine and feminine, their tension's the thing. The seventh and final great Hermetic principle, gender, is more about the energy of the mind than one's physical attribution or sexual identification. It sheds fresh light on the meaning of male, female, or masculine, feminine. Okay. So, your first card is this one here, which is, there we go, cool. Balance, masculine and feminine. The inner interplay of gender is the source of your soul realization. Are you aware of your inner masculine and feminine aspects? Are you ready to unlock your creative potential? Every human being has a mother and a father. The biological union of the masculine and feminine is miraculous in its own right. However, the seventh great Hermetic principle of gender applies across all levels of existence, mentally, physically, and spiritually. The creative interplay of the masculine and feminine principles applies at the nanoscopic level of fundamental particles, all the way up to the manifestation of suns, planets, moons in our universe. It encompasses a vast continuum of being, with every manifestation of matter and energy differentiated as always by vibratory degree. The first card in the suit of gender, balance, masculine and feminine, calls you to expand your understanding of this eternal truth and its application to your inner world. To grasp and turn this key of mental alchemy, sparking your inner creative force and focus to give birth to your sacred higher self. New life and new being are yours to make a reality in this lifetime. Both the masculine and feminine principles are latent within you. You have the capacity to awaken them in creative union, tension, and harmony, and rise upward on the scale of being to make your higher purpose a reality. Okay, so that's your first one. Basically, it's for your task of November. Number one, you got to balance your masculine and feminine energies. Okay. All right. Let's have a look for the next one. Now, I shuffled these. I swear to God. But anyway. The next one that you have is in the area of cause and effect. Okay. Nothing falls by chance, just forest forces unknown. Be cause, not effect. The sixth great principle of the Hermetic system, cause and effect, declares that everything happens for a reason. Nothing is left to chance. The adage, you make your own luck, is more the point, suggesting that human beings have the potential to consciously influence life events. Okay, let's just give you that first little bit. And here we go. So card number 1 is your second card, which is allow for cause. For everything that happens, there is a cause. Have you ever felt your life to be jinxed, or do you often see yourself as out of luck, or regard some people as living a charmed life? The sixth great Hermetic axiom of cause and effect says there is no such thing as chance or luck. There is a cause for everything and happens in our there is a cause for everything that happens in our world and the universe. Everyday events are commonly described as random or accidental. However, the Hermeticists tell us that chance is simply a label we use when we don't know the actual causes. For example, when we toss a coin, heads is the result of holding the coin a certain way and flicking it upwards at a certain angle and velocity. If we could lift the same coin in precisely the same way again and perform an identical sequence of muscular actions a second time, heads would come up again. However, it is impossible to repeatedly toss the same coin in exactly the same way. The first card in the suit of cause and effect, allow for cause, calls on you to reframe your purpose and higher destiny. You are a player in your own life. What you do and what you achieve in this lifetime is not the result of blind forces at play. Your level of evolution and being determines what you attract unconsciously or consciously. Okay? So this is very much about acknowledging that you have created your life. Exactly what I was saying about with the Sophia code. So this is where it gets really interesting for me, because I see these sorts of things, these messages that are coming through time and time and time again in all sorts of different ways. And I'm like, it's very likely that Hermes Trismegistus was probably floating around with at least one of the ascended masters that is in the Sophia code. He may have even been floating around with Mother Mary. I don't know. But at the same token, the messages were getting out there. And if he wasn't in her embodiment when she was as Mother Mary, they may have floated around before that, because she had many embodiments before she became Mother Mary, and that was her last human embodiment. This is where you have to acknowledge your life and how you're creating it. You are the cause. You're not at the effect of. Okay? Ooh, I like that one. Okay, this is going back to the other purple ones. This is the chemistry one, the vibration ones. So we read about the vibration thing before, which is the third Hermetic principle. So no man ever steps in the same river twice. Everything in the universe is in flux and a state of impermanence. So shoot for the stars. You're asking for November, right? Lift your being, your I am, and reach towards the heavens. Are you aware of your limitless potential? Do you truly know yourself? All is metaphoric of the mystery. A common thread that unites human beings and subatomic particles, connecting even a single-celled organism in biology known as the monad with the being of an archangel. Everything is subject to the third great Hermetic principle of vibration. The difference is just a matter of degree. Grasping this is a vital key to understanding the nature of all life on this planet and our human potential for transformation. Everything vibrates on all levels and planes of being. Consciousness, the capacity of a human being to know thyself, as we recall from the ancient Greek oracle Delphi, is our greatest gift. It is the seed of the divine within us all. The fourth card in the vibration suit, Shoot for the Stars, calls you back to your sacred birthright to take the path of spiritual transformation leading to the stars. It is never too late. Become aware of the quality of energy you are manifesting. Take a conscious breath and raise the vibration of your mantra, I am, onwards and ever upwards. Okay. So in relation to your month to come, this is talking about being very aware of your vibration. How are you referring to yourself? Your I am presence. We often go, I am tired at this time of year. What if you're not tired? What else could you be? What is your body trying to show you? And is there a different way to honor that? The other thing is looking again at your passions. What are you passionate about? I am passionate about, like, the lovely being over on YouTube. They're passionate about being of service and just sort of uplifting people around them if they see that they're struggling a little bit. That's beautiful. That's exactly what we require in this world right now. And I know that you're doing a lot of that sort of work. And November is going to ask you to just really hone in and be very present with your vibration. Okay, because it is time to shoot for the stars. It's like, do the things, keep going with your programs, keep manifesting and creating great things for your clients and stuff like that. November is going to be a very, very good month for you, I feel. In amongst all of that, and I think part of the key to this one that we've just read, and also it's a little bit of a nudge on the second one too, to allow for cause, is come to stillness. So this is within the vibration part as well. In the midst of unceasing motion and activity, stop. Why is stillness a key to transformation? Do you know how to stop? The third great ancient Hermetic principle calls us to consciously bring our mind-body continuum to a state of stillness. The importance of being still is universally recognized as being beneficial. Sleep, rest, having time out are some of the fundamental methods by which we can change our level of vibration. However, stillness also relates to our spiritual life. The Bible, Psalms 46:10, says, "Be still and know that I am God." Similarly, Indian spiritual master Meher Baba famously said, "Mind working is man, mind working fast is mad, mind slowed down is mast," as in holy, mind stopped is God. In this quote, mast is from the Sufi term mastala, meaning intoxicated with God. There are many ways to quieten one's mind. In our 21st century age of information, finding a technique or practice to achieve this is only a Google search away. However, whatever approach you are attracted to, persistence is required. Without focus, today's instant accessibility to everything known can end up distracting us from realizing our soul potential. Come to stillness reminds you that experience is the litmus test of truth. Embrace the transforming quality of stillness. Discover the finer vibrationary aspect of being and step through the portal to experience your higher self and the world of spirit. So one of the things that I have brought into my space now that it's summer again and the light is shining differently in my windows and stuff, it's particularly in the afternoon, is doing some rainbow gazing again. So I have my crystals that I have hanging up in my window, and I have them in my bedroom as well as in my healing room because they're both on that side of the house. And I just lay down and I watch them. I come to stillness. And sure, there's thoughts that float in, and I just don't hold on to them. I just let them go by. And the other day I was like, all right, I'm just going to be here for 5 minutes. I can spare 5 minutes right now. And next thing you know, it was 10. Easy. And I was like, oh, wow. That went by really quickly. And when I sat up again after laying there watching the rainbows, I felt very calm, very peaceful. And often in my house, I don't have any other noises unless I'm actively watching something on my phone. But I don't have the music playing very often or anything like that. It's very quiet. And there's a reason for that. It's because of this. Because I realized the value of being in the stillness and giving my body the most opportunities to do that, because I'm a busy person. I like being busy, but I also realize the value of being still and giving myself the opportunity to do that in a way that works for me. So maybe that could be something for you. The other thing I like in the stillness is like when I get to sit out in the trees, sit outside and just watch the trees and just be still in the quiet, listening to the nature. You know, like even now, I'm with you guys. I'm active with you guys, and that, but I'm still listening to the crickets that are outside and that sort of thing. It's nice, you know. Your next card is from cause and effect again. I should have realized that. All right. So you had 3 of the 7 hermetic principles. Cool. Your last card for this part is be servant and master. Serve your apprenticeship on every level of being within the physical, mental, and spiritual planes. Are you prepared to learn the timeless ways of the ancients? Do you understand that giving with all your heart and soul will attract gifts of the spirit? The hermetic principle of cause and effect applies on all levels and subdivisions of the great physical, mental, and spiritual planes. Everything that happens is the result that which preceded it, and every effect in turn is necessary condition of all that follows. In all of life and creation, nothing is left to chance. We serve our apprenticeship at every stage of soul development. Moving ever upward, we ascend to the next level again to embrace the role of servant, preparing when we are ready to rise further on the scale of being. The 7th card in this suit reminds you that there are no shortcuts on your soul journey. Knowledge may be power, but humility enriches understanding. Vulnerability is the fertile soil from which emerges strength of a higher order. Everything is relative in all of life, creation, and the universe. In the timeless wisdom of mental alchemy, you are both cause and effect. To achieve self-mastery, embrace servitude with all your heart. Understand that the path to self-mastery opens the portal of soul ascension. So it's very much an acknowledgement of all of the work that you're doing while you're being the master and you're leading your programs and things like that and helping your clients to continue to grow and become more of themselves. Where you're the master in that situation, you're also the student, as you know. And as the student, you also get to learn so much about yourself along this journey, which keeps you growing too. I always get stuff. Like, there's always so much growth that happens within each session I do, whether it's a healing session or like online or in person, whether it's, in a book club or I also learn so much even when I'm out doing my cleaning role, right? Like, and I love that. I'm a bit of I'm a curious little cat, right? I love information. I love finding out things. I like humanity. I really do. And I like being able to find out about things and people. So this is an acknowledgement of that for you too. It's like, it's okay that you're both the student and the master at the same time. So this next month is going to see a lot more of that for you as well, where you're going to keep learning so much and implementing it in your life at the same time, which is really cool. Really, really cool. Your yummy card. Yummy card. Oh my Lord. Jumping about all over the place. Gratitude. Keep coming back to the space of gratitude, my love. And that was quite a cool reading. So this next month is going to see you continuing to balance your masculine and feminine energies. You're going to remember that you have created everything in your life and you're not at the effect of it. You are the cause. That you're going to keep being amazing and have faith in yourself and the success of your programs and your business and as a mum and all of that sort of stuff. There's also a nice gentle reminder, come back to stillness, come back to the quiet, come back to your heart, okay? And then just when you thought that would be the nice rounding out, no, they're saying you're still going to be a student and you're still going to be a master. So you've learned a lot already and you're doing incredibly well and you still have lots more to go. It's like, thanks, I think. So there we go. Hermes Trismegistus. You popped the cherry. Well done. I hope that was everything that you would love to hear tomorrow. And maybe some confirmations for the month ahead. Thank you for your beautiful donation. I'm so grateful for you and grateful for your continued support over here on Find You Fridays. And couldn't do it without you. Yeah, you're so welcome, Tamara. So welcome. For our lovely people over on YouTube, she said, thank you so very much. Love these cards and loved my reading tonight. As always, so much gratitude. Yeah, cool cards, I have to say. I can see why they've come in because I've also got waiting for me to read is a bit, I don't know that it's going to come in before the end of Sophia Code, is actually some stuff around Hermes Trismegistus in my library. But it was just a little bit, it was the Complete Hermeticism collection.
Dreams of the same thing.
Which has the Kabbalion, the Corpus Hermeticum, Hermetic Tablets, Virgin of the World, the Secret Teachings of All Ages, which is the Hermetic parts, and the Chandelian Oracles of Zoroaster. It's only 20 hours worth. Which is great and thoughtfully, so it's like the complete wisdom of Hermeticism, thoughtfully adapted for the modern listener in one comprehensive audio book. So I'm looking forward to listening to all of that. in time. Sophia Code's taking up a big space within me right now of integration, and like, so I balance that out between between the things. Anyway, Christine, my dear, thank you so much for your donation, and we're going to jump up to yours and let's have a look. Will DCF reported by local officials let me finally take my elderly dad to his home so I can take care of him and protect him? Aww. Things are obviously moving around. I did wonder when we hadn't seen you for a couple of weeks. So, you wouldn't perhaps be aware, but I actually have a brand new pendulum from a couple of weeks ago now. And it is a tiger's eye pendulum. And it's really long compared to my other ones, but that's really cool. Okay, let me just tune in. Just show me a yes. And show me a no. Awesome. Thank you. Come back to neutral, please. Just help you along. Okay, so truth. Will DCF officials allow Christine's dad to go home so she can take care of him? It's showing as a yes. And quite a strong yes as well. Okay. Cool. So for you, Christine, I'm also going to do I'm going to just quickly do some runes for you. Okay. I did some runes the other day. I actually made a set of runes for a friend for her birthday, and she really, really loved them, and she did her first reading with them, and she was just blown away, absolutely blown away by them. Okay, let's see what you got. Okay, that's over here this time. Alrighty. So the first rune that you've got is this one here, okay, which is Nathis. And this is to do with like your current past. And what I asked is, what does Christine require to know about looking after her dad at this time? And so there's been a lot of resistance and delays and conflict. And that's basically what this rune is talking about, just as the basic associations with it. And as we know, that there has been a lot of conflict when it comes to you and you taking care of your dad and making sure that he's being looked after in an appropriate way. So that absolutely tracks for your sort of past/current time. Okay. The second rune that you have, which is talking about the opposing forces or issue, and it is this one here, which is Ingwas. So this is the opposing forces or issue. Interesting that this is the thing. The issue is that in you focusing so much on your dad's stuff, it's preventing you from growth. Okay, so be very careful around that. And having it consume you to a point where your life is no longer yours. Being a carer especially can do that, and it becomes very, very hard to carve out time for yourself and to keep your own balance, mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health. So just be very aware of that too. Okay. Your third rune is talking about the action likely if you sort of stay on your current path. So this is what you're kind of going to have to do if you stay where you're going at the moment. So this is Kana Awes. And this is about being the beacon or the torch. So you're going to have a lot of strength and self-knowledge and creativity to be able to do this without losing yourself. Okay. And this will provide a really nice opening for you, but at the same time, you're going to have to be very, very lateral in your thinking. You're not going to be able to be very stuck in your thinking and rigid. You're going to have to be flexible. Also, when it comes to the elderly, particularly if they're starting to get Alzheimer's and things like that, you've got to be really chill when dealing with them directly, because they do forget, and you might get frustrated because they're repeating themselves yet again. It's like, just pretend like you've not heard it. Right? So, yeah, interesting. The sacrifice required. I'm not surprised that this rune came out. I'm quite familiar with this one. This is the Aesa rune, which is the ice rune. Frozen in time, concentration, stasis, non-action, psychological blocks, and standstill. So you're going to be sacrificing a lot of your growth in this process of being your dad's main carer. And this is a sort of just a warning to you to say, please be aware that not to sacrifice yourself and your own self-development, because time will kind of stop in this process, okay? Until he goes, basically everything will revolve around him, and it's going to make it hard for you. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's just to be aware of the gravity of the situation, okay? Your last rune, which is your outcome possible. Now, remembering, of course, that even though this is your outcome possible, everything can change, okay? You can make some different choices, and those choices can then create a different outcome, right? So if you made the choice to go, that's cool, I'm going to be my dad's carer, and I'm also going to get short bursts of help where I can go and do my other things for me. I can go and get a massage. I can go do nice, nourishing, nurturing things for me too. And so in getting small little bursts of help, you can also keep the energy a little bit fresher for you, and also will help with your mental health and well-being. But if you decide to do it fully on your own, this is kind of where things are going, okay? So the possible outcome is talking about hours, and this is to do with stability, patience, perseverance, endurance. You're going to need a lot of endurance, strength. Okay. So your outcome, this will make you stronger in the long run, because you're going to have to continue to make many, many decisions and working with your dad, even while his mental health is failing. And so you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have a lot of patience and perseverance in this journey with him. So just please be aware of all of that too. I think this is kind of a good general message for you. Being a carer is bloody hard work. Even being a carer who comes in for short periods of time, like 2 or 4 hours, it's still hard. It's hard work mentally and emotionally, you know. So if you're someone who's doing caring full time or most of the time, just please be aware of that and take care of yourself. Okay. Thank you so much, Christine, for your kind donation. I'm super duper grateful for you, and I wish you all the best with this journey with your dad. It's gonna be an interesting one, and I hope that everything is working out and sort of smoothing off a little bit for you, because I know you've been on quite the journey. Well, we know as a community that you've been on quite the journey with him. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Alrighty. Okay, so Penguin 818, I am amen. All have the same love vibration. As God says, we are love. Yes, we are light beings. Absolutely, we are. Absolutely. All right. I am. What am I choosing now to do? I think today we're actually going to make this a bit of a short session today. Unless anybody has some other interesting topics you'd like me to talk about. I think we might go into our meditation and enjoy the meditation together. This will be very much based around Mother Mary today, and enjoying that. Ooh, but I did just remember something. Okay, so obviously I just remembered. Yay for having prepared something for myself. So some of you may remember I had, given that we're in Halloween, and this is kind of like a little anniversary of a big bit of like past life healing that I did. So I just wish to honor that here with you guys, to know what is possible, even if we've had heavily traumatic experiences in other lifetimes that are coming through into this lifetime to be healed, which is, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. So I'm just going to read for you guys a blog post that I did back in 2023. So I actually put it onto my website in 2023. However, this journey happened in 2022. Okay. So just with this, it is a trigger warning. It may bring up memories of past lifetimes past, and if it does, please reach out and we can talk. So let's begin. The Witch's Cauldron. The cottage of creation, sanctuary among the trees, the big oak table with remedies brewed with ease. Natural fibers and fabrics, herbs drying in the breeze. The communion of sisterhood, sharing knowledge through the ages, bringing peace and healing for those who are willing to receive. Path disrupted. Separated by flame, reunited by the same. The pain of remembering, the tears of healing, the releasing of oaths and promises, and the vows of revenge into the flames. Surrendering to the present moment, traveling through time and space, honoring the body that was the sodomy and vaginal violation, the burnt skin and trauma at the hands of men, using our sacred healing tools to destroy, harm, and kill. Carefully and delicately, the sister and the coven, both past and present, carry the body, the sacred vessel for this time, back to the place of bruise and healing for others. The being that is now guiding the way, gifting the body that was then. The unconditional love it never received, healing the cells, removing the pain, shock, trauma, and internal injuries, allowing the body to truly relax into the peace of death. Creating the space for her coven to have their own trauma released, letting go of the pain, of the regrets, of the self-imposed blocks and barriers, surrendering them to the moon, stars, wind, fire, and Mother Earth. Releasing the anger and the betrayal of the men from our hearts. Supported by coven unseen, the sacred vessel is finally, honorably, gently, lovingly laid to rest in reverence, bringing peace to the present, allowing the locked magic to finally be free again, to brew and heal with ease. Please note, this poem is one of my many journeys into healing my own past lifetime traumas that have had a direct impact on my life now. It is still processing, and this new space is integrating into my life. However, I know I was not the only one who went through these horrific tortures and deaths at the hands of others. I was guided to hold space for this lifetime for nearly a year while I processed what it held for me, how it impacted my life, and while I waited till some other aspect of my spiritual healing journey worked their way through, including some different tools. I also had to wait for a member of my coven from that time to be ready in this lifetime, to be ready to release the trauma for her too. There was no coincidence in us finding each other over the last 5 years. We have had a soul agreement to heal these moments that we have witnessed with each other. So now we sit in peace, we reflect in the magic, and we are allowing this next part of our contribution to the collective to come to play. Thank you for listening and holding space for us all. My deepest gratitude to my sisters, my coven, and to everyone and everything that played a part in releasing and healing this moment. The time is now. It is done, it is done, it is done. With love, Lorene. So this wish to honor that, not only for me, but for every other person who has experienced that in their past lifetimes, because it was a hard one. It was, so many crazy layers of manipulation and wrongness that was around at that time. And it's not just, England, it was many countries around the world. And I'm not going to go into it too deeply, but it's probably one of the reasons why I find Halloween a bit funny for me. Because I'm like, number one, I'm in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's kind of the wrong time of year to be celebrating Beltane anyway. Number two, it's got that bit of a twang for me. And I'd love to know, what are your guys' thoughts around Halloween, or for us, Beltane, because we're coming into spring rather than autumn. Let me know. Let me know what you think, and if that brought up anything for you, if it reminded you of something, if you felt it, if you got goosebumps. it was a big journey. And when I realized what was going on, it was because I was at a women's only group where there was a lady who was just doing so much white sage smudging. It was absolutely bonkers, and it was filling up this really, really tall ceiling room. And I was just like, but the gift of that and the fact that I couldn't breathe properly for the next 3 days was that it opened up that pathway for me to realize that I had this past lifetime, because it made me question it. And so I went digging and I found out what was going on. And just over the year, more and more information dropped in. And it was some of the hardest things for me to comprehend, that people could do that to each other. That the reason why I had such an issue with white sage being burnt around me, I don't now, because we've done that healing. But the reason why I did, and I was hypersensitive to it, was because my tools had been used to, it hurt me internally. They'd, put it into the fire. The men had, put my body out onto my big, beautiful oak table and, forced the sticks up inside me and burning white sage up inside me and destroying my internals that way. So there was a lot of healing that had to be done when I did finally get to do the process. And the friend that I had at the time, who was part of my coven, she had witnessed not the stuff that happened inside the house, inside my cottage. She witnessed the burning of the body once it was outside, and because I was still alive. And in that lifetime, she made the oath that she was never going to practice her magic again because it was too scary. So in this lifetime, she was really struggling to tap into her, all of her magic. She could do little bits here and there, but because she had this oath flowing through her system, and it was such a very strong one, it just she couldn't release, she couldn't tap into herself fully. And from what I understand, she does now, which is really cool. But yeah, it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time. And the fact that we were able to go and revisit that lifetime and heal the body and, put it to rest where it was supposed to be was so beautiful. And we were able to do that around a campfire of our own. And it was just the most beautiful experience. Like, as we opened up the circle and we were on opposite sides of the campfire, and as we were calling in, earth and fire and wind and water, and obviously the Great Mother, the wind whistled through the trees. And instantly we felt around us, filling up the circle between us on both sides, our immediate coven, and then the other covens after that, and after that, and after that. And there were so many layers, and it was just beautiful, absolutely just beautiful. And when I think of that time now and the process that we went through to do the healing, touches my heart every time. Makes me feel a little bit teary, and just in gratitude. So yeah. Malik, Moran, You have asked so very, very nicely. So yes, I will give you 2 cards. What is your question? Oh, gosh. That's a very, very big question. That's a very big question. Let's see, how can I tackle that one? Okay. Let's have a little play, shall we? So here's the question. All right. Okay. Show me yes. Now show me no, please. All right. So you can see the difference. Okay. All right. So, truth, should Malik go abroad for a job? Let's just start there. Truth, what will it create if Malik goes abroad for a job? Ooh. Truth, has Malik found their passion? That's a very clear no. Truth, if Malik if Malik discovers their passion, will the job flow to them with ease? That's a yes. Truth, is this job and passion within the country that they are living? Oh, it's going around in circles. Truth, is the passion and the job that Malik could be playing with and enjoying anywhere in the world? Yes. So, what I'm going to say to you, beautiful one, is figure out what your passion is. What is it that lights you up? What is it that makes you, like, what things interest you the most? What sort of things, if you had a library full of books, what would those books be? What would their titles be? If you have a look at your search history, what things do you kind of go down a bit of a rabbit hole with? So even before I knew that being an energy healer and intuitive psychic and all of that sort of stuff was a very core part of my world, there were signs before that. I had Ina Sagawa book. I had a couple of, I was curious about oracle readings. I couldn't do it at the time, but I was really curious about it and fascinated because one of my friends at the time could. I was curious about pendulum work, and only in the last probably few years have I really started using pendulums. I love them, and now I work with runes, I work with oracle cards, I work with tarot. I use my intuitive healing, my intuitive awareness. I've got all sorts of clairs that are popping up these days. Just start with the thing that makes you kind of go, that sort of makes you sit up a that little bit straighter, that might lighten your heart a little bit. And then you'll be right. Then once you get that, then you can do the job thing. Then you can. So as an energy healer, I have a normal job as a specialty cleaner. The funny thing is that I can be an energy healer even though I'm at work, even though I'm in my normal job that most people just go in, go out, they don't think about it, blah, blah, blah. No, I go in and I contribute and heal people's houses in my job because it's the energy that I be. I bring peace and calm to people. That is my purpose in life. I bring peace and calm. So I go into people's houses and they might be very tense and uptight and anxious. And by the time I leave, they're not. Quite often they're asleep. They are so peaceful, they go to sleep. And it's quite funny. But, you know, that's part and parcel of who I be, right? So find out what your passion is. And it could be something really, really different. Like I was talking with my nephew this week, and he's super duper passionate about doing his online community stuff. And so that's what he's been doing. He's been creating his own online communities and figuring out what to do with all of that sort of stuff. And like, cool. Like, and he does some streaming of his gaming and things like that. He's very, very smart boy. I shouldn't call him a boy. He's like 27. But he's a smart boy. You know, so like that's something he's passionate about. He's passionate about connecting with other people in the way that works for him. So just work on that. As it said, the pendulum was like you could go anywhere with your passion, okay? So Truth Europe, what will it create if they go to Europe? Truth, what would it create if they go to Saudi Arabia? Okay, a lot more of a yes on Europe. Okay. Saudi Arabia, not so much. So whatever it is to you, you choose for you. Even if you do decide that Saudi Arabia is the place for you, even though the pendulum at this stage has said no, you might find that there is something that you have to learn. And you'll note how I asked the question. It's truth, what will it create? And so even though it's a yes, it's going to create more. And sometimes the more is growth. And growth can sometimes be incredibly uncomfortable. That's just part and parcel of it. But what happens on the other side of that, like at this moment, you're in a big state of growth. And that's exciting, super exciting. Because from here, you could do anything. You are in that space of absolute possibilities. And while you're saying, I'm stuck in life and jobless, no, you're not. At this moment in time, you can do or be anything that you wish because you're not being held back by anything or anyone. I've been that space. And I know what it's like to feel just so hopeless, right? But when I look back on that time, I go, wow. I got to choose so many things out of all the vast possibility of all the things. I chose these things specifically. Not because they were easy, it's because that's what worked for me at the time. And it helped light up my heart. And some of them were bloody hard. Just saying. But yeah. So figure out your passion, all right? And then you'll be like 90% there. Thank you for tuning in. That was beautiful. All right. Cool bananas. All right, my lovelies. I am going to do our little meditation now, because my body is saying it's asking for me to go and rest. So we'll do a little meditation, have some nice loving from Mother Mary, and then we'll disappear for the night. Okay. And then I look forward to coming back and being with you guys next week. All right. So close your eyes now. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. Breathing out. Letting those shoulders relax. Take another big, deep breath in. Bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Expanding out your awareness beyond your body in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Yourself in the center of that bubble, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the building that you're in, out beyond the size of the country that you're on. Out beyond the size of the planet. Out beyond the size of the solar system. And beyond the size of the galaxies. And expanding out your awareness out beyond the universes. And at this point, you might feel a little bit of tension around your head, maybe in your temples. Don't worry, it's going to go away really, really soon. Okay? We'll call that creative tension. Focusing on your body once more, grab your sense of allowance and expand that out. Remembering that expanding out your sense of allowance takes you from being a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and turns you into like a nice, big, light, fluffy cloud, floating along where you can see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you can choose whether to play with that river or not. Because in this state, you can see it for exactly what it is. It's just energy. Nothing more, nothing less. It's only the stories that we attach to it that make it harm, or we perceive that it harms us. But in reality, it's our own choices. It's our choice to attach story. It's our choice to become a victim. It's our choice to create in that way. It all comes back to the love of self. expanding out your allowance beyond your body, and another big bubble greater than your body with you in the center, expanding out your allowance greater than the building that you're in, beyond the size of the country that you're on, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, expanding out your allowance greater than the size of the galaxies, greater than the size of the universes, and now greater than your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and allow your body to just relax into the space. And now I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting cross-legged on a beautiful, big, white rose. And the white rose is supporting your body beautifully. Above your head, you perceive pale pink rose petals showering down all over you. You can see in front of you that there is a big, long, beautiful path made of opalescent light. And walking towards you on this big, beautiful, opalescent light path is Mother Mary. She comes up to you, and your flower gently allows you to stand and meet her. You greet her as two friends greeting each other. You hug each other. As she says, she is more meaningful in her messages to you as a friend than some unfathomable holy statue of stone. As you hug Mother Mary, you feel her sparkling light and her energy radiate all over your skin. And as you draw apart, you feel the hum of Mother Mary's vibration. You go back to sitting on your white rose, and Mother Mary goes and sits on her white rose. Two friends together. You hold one hand, and you're both facing outwards, looking across the landscape, which is lush and beautiful, with the beautiful bright white opalescent path, looking out over the rainbow that is coming down and just touching the end of the ocean, where there is a gorgeous, gorgeous sunset, throwing colors of pink and orange and purple. Things that you would think cannot exist together because there is no rain. How are we getting a rainbow? It's magic. Anything is possible in this space. You see some gentle butterflies just floating around, reminding you to be still while you observe them. Throughout all of this, you feel Mother Mary's warmth, her love, coming through your hand, up your arm, and flowing through your heart space, encouraging your rose of a heart to open so that you can tap more easily into your passions, so that you can be the gift in this new golden age of enlightenment that you truly be, in whatever way that shows up for you, in whatever way you create that for the collective. As the energy flows and as you gaze out onto the beautiful landscape, and as you're looking, it shifts and changes for what you find beautiful. The peace and the calmness of stillness. All the while, you are downloading from your higher self and your oversoul, because you are open to receiving that now. Any messages and all messages about your purpose here, your direction, and in doing so, with the beautiful friend-like presence of Mother Mary beside you, you feel your self-confidence grow and grow. You feel yourself smiling. And as you smile, it's because you just know the truth of what is coming through to you right now. You take a big, deep breath in, really enjoying all the smell and the taste and the knowing, the feeling of tapping into your passions and the way that you are now contributing and will contribute to the collective continuing to rise beyond the polarity of the 3D world, contributing to the ascension of the collective moving to the 5D world through 4D and beyond. Because if you're listening to this right now, you are important in this process. That is why you are listening to this. You have a vital role to play, and that role is unique to you. Your role is not going to be like mine or anybody else's listening to this. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. Mother Mary's petal flowers float around, so you're now face to face, and you hold both hands now, creating a circle between you. She gazes into your eyes, and sees you for the courageous, incredible being that you truly are, for everything that you have been through already, and you're still here. She sees your courage and she smiles. She sees all the ways that you've been hurt and challenged in your years. And she sees how much love you still have within your heart. And that every passing moment, your heart rose is opening up wider and wider, giving you the strength to continue forward. And she smiles even more broadly, knowing that as your friend, she's able to be there with you to help you. And she invites you once more to call on her when you're struggling, because she loves to know about all of the intricate details of your everyday life. Nothing is too small. She is here to be with you. If you are missing a mother figure, she will be that for you. If you are missing a sister figure, she will be that for you. If you are just missing a friend, she will be that. You both look up right now and see some golden, sparkly rain showers coming down over both of you. You hold your face up and that golden sparkles come down all over you. Making all of your chakras glisten and glow. And with that, it is done, it is done, it is done. You stand up and hold each other once more as now two dear friends who have shared something incredibly special and who you know you can call upon whenever is required. And she will be there for you. She can and will be a consistent and beautiful support for you. She is reliable. She is honorable. And now as you part ways, your hand goes to your heart and you can feel the difference. Your heart space, your chakra is now warm and glowing with possibilities and love and your passion. You may be getting awareness about it right now. You may be getting little words. You might be getting pictures in your mind. And if you don't, that's okay. You may find that they'll drop in at other times when you're not paying quite so much attention. When your mind is relaxed. Like when you're just dropping off to sleep or you're in the shower. Pay attention, especially over this next week. And now imagine that you're standing underneath the big, beautiful crystalline waterfall, and the water is flowing over and through you. And any little fragments of energy that are preventing you from fully knowing and acknowledging your passion, they're all washed away now. All those energies are being washed away, all the spaces and places and belief systems that you're willing to let go of now. They can be washed away to Mother Earth, and she can use those energies for other things. Now stepping out onto the big warm river rock, and you feel Mother Earth underneath your feet. Take a big deep breath in and breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out and bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. When you're ready, open your eyes, please. For self-care, because we've done some energy work tonight, please have a good drink of water, maybe with a little bit of salt in it. If you've got some Celtic sea salt or Himalayan, pop that in the water, drink it all down. Your brain will thank you. So be kind to yourself and to others this week. Have loads of patience. Remember the heart space and compassion that you truly be, because that is the greatest gift. Until next week, thank you for being here with me. I'm so super grateful for you. And get out there, do something bold, do something tasty for yourself. Be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next week.